Perfection is what Pete was reading to us about. And I was born in September. I'm a Virgo, so perfection for us means something completely different. Bless our hearts. It is one of the crosses we bear in life. And we probably drive everybody that we live with crazy with our need for perfection. But perfection in God's terms is such a different thing. And as Pete read to us in the revealing word, it really means the seed of the Christ. That is perfection. And the root of the word perfection is actually from the Latin perfectus. I can still see Sister Rose Jose in front of the room in my Latin class saying perfectus. But the word actually means to finish or to bring to completion, to make something perfect and whole. And we have just taken perfection to a whole other bastardization of words that has just made so many of us
OCD?
yes, crazy, OCD. Are you all Virgos over there saying that? We need a support group about perfection. And I'm so much better about that now than I was before, especially after I just got away from that definition that we gave it and got away from the original intent of the word, perfection. We are always in the state of perfection because we are divine. Because we are divine, and that makes us perfect, and that makes us whole, and that makes us complete. And so our work, probably our challenge in life, and you can say it any number of ways you want. You can say it that you realize that you are a child of God and come to embrace that and live that fully, or that you come to perfection in your divinity, that you realize what that is, and that like Jesus, you live from that perfection, from that place. From that place, because that is the only way that Jesus lived. That's how he did everything he was called to do. That's how he performed every single miracle. Every single miracle. He called on his perfection, his oneness with God, his completion as the Christ in his living, in his daily living, in everything that he thought and did and said. And that's why we call him the master, because that's what masters do. They do what is right all the time. And what is right is that we come from that perfection, that we come from our divinity. And I think we can probably forget everything else in every other book, in every other lesson we've ever learned, if we could just get that one thing about how perfect we are as divine beings. And to know that we're on this continuum of expansion. We're not less perfect. I wasn't less perfect in my 20s, though Lord knows I could judge myself as that, than I am now in my 60s, now that I've worked and done the work and done the deep dive in my life and used spiritual principle to live from, rather than just having church be that thing that I did on Sundays for 45 minutes to an hour. But now I know that every opportunity in my life is an opportunity to expand into that divinity and expand in my consciousness because it's already perfect within me. I just have to realize it, embrace it, and hold it, and know it. And take a step every single day like Jesus did in that perfection, in that perfection. And that's where they say, that's where, that's the problem. That's the challenge. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where our lack of belief, our doubting who and what we are, that's the issue. It's not that you are less, it's that you believe you're less. It's not that you can't heal, as Pete read. That doctors, medicine, whatever modality we use to heal our bodies is only aiding the innate restorative power that we have. If we left our bodies alone, they would heal anyway. Because the body tends towards wholeness and self-preservation. It only knows that. It only knows that. And half the time what we're doing is getting in the way of that innate process that's trying to heal us. And even our souls are calling us forth because the soul wants and knows its oneness with God. We just argue with it all the time. The soul is driving us forward to our divinity and saying, here we are, this is our home, this is who and what we are. And then we rationalize and we start thinking, we start devising some other way to get things done because we think we know better. We think the brain knows better. And it doesn't. The brain, the consciousness, the ego is really about keeping us safe, which is actually a good thing. We do want to be safe. And we need to engage our divinity, our divine mind, our divine intelligence to know when safety, that there's something beyond safety to go to. To be in that space, that energy, that mindset of the Christ is what we are here to do. It's what we're here to do. It's our only job. Our only job. We've been given it all. We just need to see the all. We need to hold the all. The allness, as I've heard a minister say, of the isness. Of the usness. Of the loveness. That is us. She can forget about all the other stuff. I mean, reading the books is fine, studying is fine, the classes are fine, and then you can still go home and you're still thinking that you're something less than what you just read about or what the book said or what I said up front. All that means nothing if you don't hold it in your heart. It doesn't matter how much you read. You can read every day of your life and still not get it. Because it's not about what's on the written page. It's not about what I tell you. Most of you are forgetting 95% of what I say anyway. By the time I'm done. It's okay. I have a support group, I know. Because really all that matters is what you hold. If you just hold that one thing, you can forget everything else I said in the 30-minute talk or the 20-minute talk or whatever. Just hold the one thing. That's all I want you to do. And that's all that I want you to see for yourself, is that you are this perfect, whole, complete, magnificent being. That's all I work on for me. When I'm struggling and I'm doubting myself, that's what my work is too. I don't have it all. I don't have it all 100% embraced. I wish I did. Well, if so, then I'd probably be going, oh, ascending into the ethers. That's my work too. And we're doing it together. That's what spiritual community is for, that we support each other as we're working to expand and to embrace how magnificent we are. Mind, body, spirit, and heart. You're already there. You're already there. You're already there. You're already there. I am already there. I have to say it to myself just about every single day. I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm already there. I am that love. I am that magnificence. I am that divine being, and then spring from that into the world. Perfection. We are continually evolving towards that completion. And so in any given moment, you are complete. And then in the next moment, as you are expanding a little bit more, you'll have completion in that. 5 days later, when you've expanded some more, unless you're sitting on your spiritual laurels and doing nothing and thinking you got it all figured out, then you are continual expanding. 1 day from now, 5 days from now, you should be different next week than you are today if you're doing the work. If you're sitting in the silence and you're being with Spirit and knowing yourself as that same Spirit in the silence, then there's no way you can be the same next week as you are today. There's no way. And if you are, and you're not doing the work, you're not doing the work. And the point of the work is this life, and the life abundant. All the joy, all the love, all the abundance, all the compassion, all the harmony and unity and peace that you can stand is waiting for you. The way that Jesus came to save was not because we were laying in iniquity and laying in the dirt face down because we were so less than, and he was making us something that we weren't already. He came to tell us, and that's the saving, that you already have it. Go be that thing. That's what he came for in Unity's philosophy. There are other philosophies that say otherwise. And that's okay. That's okay. Everybody has their path. Most people have something that resonates with their hearts, and that's good. But the saving is, wake up. You already have it. Go be that. I'm showing you the way. I'm giving you all the tools. Taught us how to pray. Said, I'm not leaving you after I ascend. I'm sending you the Holy Spirit. You will always have me. And go do all the things that are better than what I did here. He said, I'm the tip of the iceberg, folks. You're the part that's under the water. The massive part of the iceberg that most of us don't see because it's underwater. Jesus always just kept telling people, go do that, go do that. Always returning to people their power. He never took the credit, never took the power. Because he didn't need to, because he knew that he was that power. And when you know that you are that power, you don't have to seek it elsewhere. You don't have to fight for it. You don't have to be defensive. You don't have to get offensive. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to speak a word. You just are that thing, that magnificence, that power, that goodness, that perfection, that seed of the Spirit of the Christ. Again, Christ wasn't Jesus' middle name or last name. It was Jesus the Christ. The true potentiality of God, the full potentiality. And he walked in it to demonstrate how it's done and to show us what it looked like. Like we talked about last week. And he walked through it, through all those trials and tribulations that last week of his physical life before the resurrection. He walked through all of that negativity and pain in his power, quietly, calmly, peacefully. Because he knew who and what he was and what ground he stood on. And what infused every single breath of his, every single word of his. He knew that God was at the back of that omnipotence was at the back of that. And so he didn't have to waver. There was no thought of wavering or doubt or what if. He never had what ifs. Because that power he knew was right there, closer than his fingertips. And that's what our job is, to know that. And to stop doubting. And stop questioning. And stop denigrating ourselves. Waffling back and forth. Do I have it? I don't have it. I don't know if I have it. Somebody didn't tell me I had it. Oh my gosh, I didn't get affirmation today. Somebody didn't say they liked my talk. Somebody didn't say they do this. Somebody didn't like my dress. They didn't say anything. Does that mean my dress didn't look good? Don't we do that all the time?
Kim, should I be a singer or not?
Oh my God. How many times did she ask me that Friday night? How many people were there Friday night at Sundance Square? Yes. Did she blow it out of the water or what? Did Stefan blow it out of the water or what? We were so proud. We're all sitting out there saying, they belong to us. They belong to us. You folks are just in the audience, but they belong to us.
They're ours. No nipping.
So I don't know, I'm outing you. But you did say it. You said it first.
I always say it.
She always says it. She said, oh my God, somebody told me that they really loved what I did. And I was like, oh my God, can I slap you here or what? My God, did you just say that out loud to me? Where's my tea? But I did it too. Remember I told you about the email I was afraid to send 2 weeks ago? Well, I sent it, and I'm speaking a week from tomorrow. And they asked if I would be open to speaking at other conferences and things like that because they always need speakers. I said, absolutely. Yeah. But for a moment, I was in that space where I was like, oh, I don't know. Is anybody going to like me? Oh, my God. I went there for a minute. And then I got over it. I got back and realized that this is my job. This is what I was born to do. I was given that mission to go and speak about this and to deliver a message to the world. And so if I send this email and they say no, that is their problem, not mine. That is their problem, not mine. And that means that there's probably a bigger opportunity somewhere else waiting for me. Because that's how the universe responds to us claiming who and what we are. It can only end up exponentially better than we imagined. Every single blessed time. So you just have to get there in your heart, your head, in your soul, and know that there's no hubris in that. I've never been more humbled than when I sat in my divinity. More humbled, more grateful, felt more blessed, more abundant than in that moment. Even with the things I've manifested, the physical things I've manifested, that I set in my mind and visualized me manifesting and claiming it and saying, thank you for that. That is mine. And it manifested. And everybody says, oh my God, you're in there, you're gonna, it's all about the material stuff. No, it's not. Because in that moment, it wasn't about the thing I manifested. It was about the fact that the universe responded to my call. And I was in my power and in my divinity. And when I said mountain move, the mountain moved. And that's where I was. I was on my knees in tears saying, thank you. That's where the joy came from. The house or the husband or whatever, that was secondary to the joy that came from knowing my oneness with the Father. Knowing myself as a divine being and saying, oh my God, it's true. Oh my gosh, it's true. There's no hubris in that. Jesus himself said, that's what you are. And in Scripture it says, be perfect even as your Father in heaven is perfect. It was said because it's possible. Be perfect. It is, yes, it's not just possible, it is right now in this moment, in this moment. In this moment. The perfection in your life and who you are is right here, right now. This is perfection. And everything that you need to do whatever it is you're called to do is sitting within you, waiting for you to command it into expression and to take a step towards expansion. And say thank you. Yes, and thank you. Right, Pete? Yes, and thank you. You're inspired that there's something that you want or that you think you don't already have in your life. You already have it. You just have to speak it and say, yes, that's mine. Yes, and thank you. Yes, and thank you. And expect it joyously to unfold, to overflow into your life. Be thankful for it when it's right there in potentiality. And it can only come to you. So be who you is. Be who you be. Yeah, be who you be who you is. It's right there, it's all there. All there, all there. And anything else that we have in our silly little heads is nonsense. It's nonsense. What I love about that song that we sang, So Will I, is that it affirms our oneness with all the beauty that is in this world. And so if there is a such thing as worship or celebration, that's really what worship is, a celebration of life and of God and of all that is. then yes, we are that celebration as well. We are that thing. We are that beauty of nature and so much more. And so much more. And so, yes, our affirmation every day should be, so will I. So will I. So will I. The grandeur and beauty of nature and life, yes, so will I. I am that thing too. And you live from that. Live from that. Perfection. Absolute perfection. So let's take this into meditation. So just breathe. And just let your heart be open to the idea of perfection. The perfection that is you. The perfection that exists in your life right now. And know yourself only as goodness and light. And if you have to say, yes, I am goodness and light and love, and remind yourself of that every single minute, then do that. And say it till you believe it. Say it until you wear it, until it's in every cell of your body, every vein, every artery. Say it until your heart feels it so much that it brings tears to your eyes and a smile to your face. And you know that in that feeling you are home and you are free and you are powerful. And that you are a gift to the world. And the world cannot do without your gifts. You are here because you're needed. That this very breath of life is you. The very breath of life is you. And as the universe sprang forth from the infinite power that is God, so did you. You came from light. You are light. You came from love. You are love. You came from magnificence. You are magnificence. You came from strength. You are strength. You came from peace. You are peace. came from joy. You are joy, beloveds. Breathe it in. Relax in it. And when you hit a moment where you're in doubt, again, come back to this place in your heart. Come back to this space. Feel your spiritual family around you, holding it for you. When you can't seem to grasp it yourself, it is your spiritual family that holds all of this for you. You are perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. And that kingdom of heaven is within you. That kingdom of heaven is you. And so we say yes and thank you. Yes and thank you. Celebrate what you are. Celebrate your oneness with the omnipotence, the omniscience, the omnipresence of God. For in that we have everything. Yes, and thank you. Your arms open wide to an overflowing goodness. Every morning you'll open your eyes and fling your arms wide to overflowing goodness. And say yes and thank you. Yes and thank you for life and breath and goodness. So it is and so it shall be. Amen.